walk, don't run to make the citrus ginger chicken. Hey there, friends. I'm Renee, and welcome to what I like to call my Kudos Kitchen. I am also a food blogger, recipe blogger, and that's where the name Kudos Kitchen by Renee comes from. Today, we are fortunate enough to have my husband, Mark, again, behind the camera.
Hey, everybody.
So it's going to be kind of an interactive type recipe. And the recipe we'll be making today is one that I've had on my site for a very long time ago, which is why I'm remaking it and shooting this video. 2013, I believe, is when I first published it. So it's called Citrus Ginger Chicken. And I'm going to modify my own recipe today to use the things I already have on hand, the things I didn't have, like the swaps I'm going to be making to the original recipe, and then go from there. So we will be using the wok. We have chicken, and what I have here is about a pound and a half, pound and a half, 1.5 big size chicken breasts. And I already diced them up into a little bit larger than bite-sized pieces, but I'm going to liberally salt and pepper them, and also toss them with a little bit of garlic powder, which the original recipe did not have garlic powder. I used actual minced garlic, but I don't have that today. So we're going to go ahead and get the same type of flavor, but with powdery form. So there we go. And then I'm give it a toss and let this sit while we get the other elements ready for this recipe. And now that the chicken is all prepared, I also went ahead and prepared some broccoli florets. So what I did there is I just cut them into little florets. I trimmed the bottom edges where they didn't maybe look so great if they were turning brown or something. What I've been using lately is the packaged broccoli floret, but they're not always the freshest when you do it that way. But for convenience sake, I do that sometimes as I buy them that way instead of like the broccoli heads. So like I said, I did go ahead and I trimmed them up, picked out the ones that didn't look so great, and got them all ready, washed them up. And this is roughly 5 cups, maybe. They're a pretty good size because I want them to be substantial in the recipe when it is all finished. So I have the broccoli prepared. I diced some red onion, maybe about a cup of red onion, which the original recipe did not call for, but we're using it today. And we're going to be making a sauce for all this yumminess with orange marmalade, some soy sauce. What is this? Oh, mandarin oranges, but they don't go in the sauce. They go on top to garnish. And then I'm going to add a little bit of sesame oil to bring out that Asian flavor like nothing else. And ginger paste. Last time I used grated ginger, which I didn't have, but I do have the ginger paste, lemon and lime, both the zest and the juice from the insides. And I think that's it. I don't think I missed anything. So we're going to make this sauce.
What's in the jar? Brown sugar?
What's in the jar? Oh, yes. This is why we need Mark here. Yes, it is brown sugar, which I'm not sure I'm going to use. The original recipe called for teriyaki sauce. I thought for sure I had teriyaki sauce in my pantry, but I don't. So I'm going to use potentially, I'm going to wait and see how this goes. The brown sugar along with the soy sauce should give that same teriyaki type flavor. Although the orange marmalade and the original recipe called for no sugar orange marmalade, or low sugar. Actually, this is not that. This is full on sugar orange marmalade. So depending on how sweet the sauce, get this, smells to me, I may or may not use the brown sugar. And we'll get to that point and I'll explain more about that in just a little bit.
Can't wait.
I don't know why he didn't stop me before we got too far. He said, Mark said I called this a lemon.
That's what I heard.
Okay. And a lime. Of course, this is a lime. This is not a lemon. This is an orange.
And a big one.
Yes, it is. We're going to use both the orange zest and orange juice, lime zest, lime juice, and so no lemons involved in this recipe. Okay, we're going to start by making the sauce that goes through all the ingredients after they're cooked, but let's have the sauce ready to go for when we need it. So I'm going to use I eyeball when I cook, but the actual ingredient proportions, amounts will be in the recipe card on my blog, kudoskitchenbyrenee.com. So this is roughly 1 cup of the sweetened orange marmalade. You can use the low sugar, no sugar orange marmalade, but this is what I happen to have today. So that goes in, and then we're going to do the zest of 1 orange, and this is going to take a minute. So here we go with that. And now for the lime. And I don't need to say this, but I'm going to anyways. Always zest your citrus first before you squeeze the juice out. So you have some bulk to the fruit, and you're not like grating your knuckles. Very important. So here's the lime. Once I get this one all finished, I will go ahead and squeeze in the lemon. Go ahead and squeeze in the orange and the lime juice. Sound good, Mark?
Sounds good. Sounds accurate.
Sounds accurate. Okay, I'll show you in just a second what about the amount of the citrus zest we have. If I had to guess, I would say it's 2 teaspoons of orange zest and maybe 1 teaspoon of lime zest. And now I'm going to go ahead and add the juice from the orange. And of course, the juice from the lime. A tablespoon of orange juice, and we're going to say 2 tablespoons of lime juice. Okay, now that I have all that in the bowl, I'm going to switch to a whisk just to make the stirring and the mixing easier. So to that, I'm going to add the ginger paste I was telling you about. We want some good ginger flavor, and this works fine. You can also, like I said, grate your own fresh ginger if you like. I've done that. I like that. But this works really good in a pinch. I'm going to put a good tablespoon. I'm going to go 1.5 tablespoons. So that looks tasty. And to that, some soy sauce. And this is 38% less sodium soy sauce, which is good. I like to use that. But I must tell you that the citrus will add some sodium type elements flavor to the dish, so we don't want to go overboard with using the soy sauce. So we're just going to add, I'm going to eyeball it, but probably a good 1-2 tablespoons, we will say. Okay, I'm going to add a little pinch of pepper, no salt like I mentioned, but I will add just a few drops of the sesame oil because I love sesame oil. It's going to add that really distinct Asian flavor. A little goes a long way. So we're going to whisk this up, give it a smell, and see what we think about adding brown sugar. Right now, I can probably tell you we're not going to be doing that. Hopefully, I have all the ingredients in. Did I miss anything, Mark?
Well, I
did.
know.
Hang on. Okay, ground coriander. This is the ingredient I forgot to have out. And what this is the seed of a cilantro plant. Of course, it's ground, but it'll give you a nice bright freshness that complements the citrus in this recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and add, that looks like about 1 teaspoon. If you go a little longer on it, a little shorter on it, that's fine too. But that ingredient is important to add the bright, fresh flavor, in my opinion. Okay, so here's a nice close-up shot of what the sauce looks like. And now we're just going to set this aside and use it when we're ready. But that won't be for a little bit yet because we're going to the stove. Okay, as promised, I'm going to do the sniff test on the sauce. And it smells delish. I can already tell that it will not need the brown sugar. Now, if you're really into sweet foods, then you might want to add a little bit, maybe 1 teaspoon, but I don't think that's going to be necessary, at least not for my taste buds or yours probably, Mark. So we're going to just call this good and set it aside.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, we've moved on over to the wok. The wok has been preheating pretty much on high for about the last 10 minutes while we prepared the sauce and the chicken and the broccoli. So now we're going to move on over so you can see directly inside the wok as we're cooking. Okay, and this is something you're going to need to be ready for. If you don't have a wok, by the way, you can use a high-sided skillet, just your biggest skillet you have. That'll work perfectly fine. You don't need a wok, just so you know. And then I'm going to run some avocado oil around the outside, and we're going to cook the chicken in 2 different batches just to make sure that it gets nicely cooked with not overcrowding the pan. You can also use peanut oil if you wanted. That would be delicious, but I didn't have it this time, so avocado oil. Now get ready because it's going to spit and sputter. Whoa. What do you think, Mark? Looks good, right?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Yeah, it doesn't really look the best right now. That's okay. So we're going to let this sit for a couple of minutes, and then we'll toss it around and get it brown on all sides. Remove it from the pan and do the second batch the same way. Okay, it's starting to brown up nicely. We're not trying to fully cook the chicken at this particular moment. We do want to get a good start of cooking to it. But the chicken, after it gets nice and brown, will be removed, and then we'll do the other ingredients, and then we'll add the chicken back into the pot, and that way all the ingredients can marry their flavors and the chicken can fully cook through. Yeah, I think you can see we got some really nice color on this chicken from cooking it in the wok. So that's great. Now we set this aside and we're going to continue on with the broccoli and the onions. I think you can tell this pan is still screaming hot, which is good. That's what we want for the broccoli and the onions. So I'm going to run a little more avocado oil around the side of the pan, the wok, and then when the broccoli goes in, it'll give off some moisture, and that should loosen up those brown bits of the chicken, browning chicken that stuck to the pan, and then release even more flavor. So here you go. You don't want to cook your broccoli too long. You still want it to be crisp, tender. At least that's the way I like it. What, you have a preference, Mark?
I like mine mushy.
Well, we got a problem. Yes. And now I'm actually going to add the onions to the wok as well.
And why do you add everything here? Like the chicken, you only get half at a time.
Because they take different cooking times. Yeah, like the chicken needs to be cooked through, whereas the broccoli just needs to, have the rawness taken out. The onions, I added those now because they will need to cook a little bit longer. So I just decided to toss them in with the broccoli. Can you see, Mark, how the broccoli is changing color a little bit?
Yeah, the whole thing is good color, a lot of color.
Yeah, but you can tell that the broccoli is like becoming more vibrant green. Okay, the only other thing I need to do, because I didn't do this yet, is salt and pepper. So here's a good bit of salt. There's a lot of broccoli in there, so don't be stingy. Don't think you're over salting. Here's the pepper, freshly cracked black pepper, always delicious. And then I'm also going to add some garlic powder, about a teaspoon, maybe a little more, to your liking. And then make sure it keeps moving in the pan. You can tell that the onions are starting to cook because they're turning a little brown, and translucent in their coloring. So we'll give these another minute or so, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, as my dog was barking because the Amazon guy showed up, I went ahead and I took the broccoli and onions out of the wok. I'm going to set them aside for just a few minutes while I add the chicken back into the wok. A little bit extra avocado oil, and then we'll go ahead and add the chicken back in, which is probably really close to being cooked all the way, but we don't want to take any chances. We'll go ahead and cook this for another few minutes. So now what we're going to do is just go ahead and add that sauce that we made earlier with the orange marmalade, the soy sauce, all the juice and the citrus zest, and add that into the skillet with the chicken. And let those flavors marry for a little bit before we add the broccoli and onion. Dinner is just about ready. Add the mandarin oranges and then serve this over rice for dinner. All right, I just turned the heat off under the wok, and it is now time to add the broccoli and onion, and we'll give this all a nice toss. Oh, look how pretty this looks.
Yep, very colorful.
Very nice. And wait till the mandarin orange segments go in. Okay, we'll give it a nice toss in the sauce. I've already drained this can of no sugar added mandarin oranges, and I'm just gonna toss that in. Oh my goodness, how lovely.
Very colorful.
And I'm just gonna leave them sit here on the stove until I am ready to plate. And then Mark can do the taste test in a little bit, if you want to. Here's our completed citrus ginger chicken. It's got some nice sauce in there. If you wanted to thicken the sauce, which is perfectly fine, you would scoop out all your chicken and broccoli and all that, and then what's left sauce-wise in the pan, you can thicken it with a little cornstarch and water slurry. But that's up to you. I'm not going to do that today. Looks really good. And then Mark's going to do the taste test. But what I'm going to do is just spoon it over a nice bed of jasmine rice. And yes, I'd use cheddar rice, Uncle Ben's, heat and serve in the microwave, jasmine rice. There is no shame.
Nope.
And then here's the sauce. You can spoon the sauce onto the rice. Okay, and the final touch I'm going to do is put a nice sprinkling of sesame seeds on the top. Just to kind of drive home the fact that there is like sesame flavor in this. It's not much, but a bit. There we are. Dinner is served. Okay, Mr. Mark, are you ready for your taste test?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. I just gave him a little.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah.
First one, I'll just do a little broccoli and onion and chicken.
What do you think of the flavor?
I like it.
How's the chicken?
Very good. The orange is good too.
Thumbs up. We'll take that. Yay. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. The whole dinner takes maybe less than 30 minutes from start to dinner, and you're really going to enjoy the flavors of this Asian-inspired chicken dinner. So if you like this recipe, give us a thumbs up because Mark likes to sample food and I like to cook. So,
And I can tell you're a good cook by the way you walk.
okay. Oh no. Okay, well, there you go. There you go, folks. This is what I live with. Please enjoy this recipe and come back and visit us again. We'll see you soon. See you next time. Bye.